A trabajar, carajo, y a sacar este país adelante. A trabajar, carajo, a trabajar, carajo.
Hola, pura vida. This is Hector. Welcome to my channel, Costa Rica. This is just to know more little things about our country, Costa Rica. So, nothing else. And let's go. Do you wanna know how was Costa Rica before Christopher Columbus got to America? So, today we are going to check about this. How the native people got to Costa Rica before the colony. How was that process? How was the development? What they did? How was the main things about them? You know, it's really interesting about how they got to Costa Rica.
Son de indudable origen asiático.
Today, this is the video where we are going to see how was that here in our country, Costa Rica, before the colony. Like in other continents, the native people from America and also from Costa Rica, they had a kind of cultural process. According to the American continent history, the population from all the continent came crossing Bering from Asia to Alaska.
Y el nivel del mar bajó 130 metros. Así que habían muchos lugares para poder caminar entre Asia y América, y Bering es la única comunicación posible con Asia.
They mentioned there was a glaciation, so 10,000 years ago, everything was cold, everything was ice, and the people came across this Bering.
Fue la puerta de entrada al continente. Por allí habrían llegado los primeros grupos de cazadores-recolectores. Su existencia se confirma fundamentalmente por los hallazgos arqueológicos de Clovis y Folsom.
It was supposed to be a slow development, cultural and of course growing the population.
Si una canoa avanzara desde Bering, bordeando la costa a razón de 30 kilómetros por día, podría haber alcanzado el fin de los glaciares en tan solo 200 días. 500 días le hubiesen bastado para alcanzar la isla de Tierra del Fuego, al extremo sur del continente americano.
From 10,000 years before Jesus Christ until 2,000 years ago before Jesus Christ. During this time, the people were nomads. They were hunters and gatherers. They were 20 individuals to 30 people together. They were usually related because they were a kind of family. If they were hunters, they were always hunting megafauna. It means big one sloth, giant sloth, probably some mammoths or something like. But they used to hunt big prey.
Lived on the ground, and they were also much larger. They were averagely about the size of a bear, but one individual, known as Megatherium, was elephant-sized. The largest species of Megatherium was as much as 6 meters long.
How was the time when they were gatherers? Well, they always went to walk around the middle of the jungle, and then they found different kinds of vegetables, different fruits, different seeds, different bush, and they used all what the nature produced inside the jungle, and they got all that. Then they went to their homes to cook, you know? Bien, some of the products that they used to eat are yaca, chayote squash, ayote squash, cacao, corn, red bean, black bean, tomatoes, potatoes, avocados, and many more. So there were people always working wood, rocks, and also bones. Why? Because they, of course, like anybody around the world, they need tools to go well using in the kitchen or to go to the war to fight, you know, so they used to work in these rocks, bones, and wood. Now, going ahead, other part, it's since 2000 years before Jesus Christ until 300 years before Jesus Christ, when the people used to grow agricultures. Agriculture, or farmers, how do you say? Farmers? Farmers. Farmers for me. During this time, getting closer to the Jesus Christ date, the people started to be really interested to grow some seeds, some fruits, I mean some vegetables, probably some tubers, also some roots, and they started to farm. Farmers, they were growing their own food. It's really interesting how they were developing their skills. To prepare the land, the soil, where they were going to grow their food, it's no problem. They had fire, so they went to burn, fire the forest, and then they started to grow their products in that place. In this time, they had bigger groups, probably 50 individuals, maybe more, and they started to develop their skills. How? Well, because of, for example, when they were carving the rocks or the pottery, they were growing and growing each time their skills, like any other culture in the world, you know. So autochthon native Indians from America, they were also smart like any other culture around the world. Well, from 300 years before Jesus Christ until 500 years after Jesus Christ, when the Spains got here, this is what happened. So everything was developing and developing, each time increasing, and they were getting better and better, and of course they were smart. They had chiefdoms, one chief, and they were very important. They had the control, probably the government control, like a politician, and also like a very religious person, like a shaman. One chiefdoms, it's really, well, nice to understand, because always they have a kind of kingdom. For example, they have one chief, and then they are, or they were related with their chiefdoms, so they had a kind of relationship like a family. They were depending of their power, for example. So chiefdoms with other chiefdoms, they had relationships because, of course, they got married, well, among each two others, of course, chiefdoms. After that, helpers, advisors, they had one boss of the war, boss of the agricultures, boss of the potteries, and boss of the shamans, you know. So they had a closer relationship, and among everybody, they had a good government in the chiefdom. Chiefdoms and other chiefdoms, they were always trading many products. It could be agriculture, potteries, or gold, or any other handcraft, or something like, maybe a kind of fibers or something like that. But they had a very good, let's say, exchanging. They were always interchanging. Researchers, they have found many vestigial arguments, vestigial instruments or tools coming from autochthon, from native species in Tronadora, by Arenal volcano, by the lake, Liberia, Tilaran, Nikira, and Kure, and many other places. Okay, let me show you this map. In Guanacaste, it's the A. The B will be the Central Pacific, Central Valley, and also South and North Caribbean. C, it will be for the South Pacific. What researchers have found there, well, arrows, as I told you, different kind of potteries, machines to ground corn or to ground cacao, so many other things. Gold, for example, we have the museum dedicated to the Indian golden. Remember, I'm a tour guide. This is just to lead you in a kind of tips about Costa Rica, pura vida. Take a look. So this is a really interesting book. A really nice information about the Costa Rican histories. What they went to collect in the middle of the jungle, what they picked up to eat. Pura vida, see you in the next video.